So there's been like a lot of requests for this channel to make a tier list on the Senran Kagura girls. And in the spirit of celebrating August 1st, you know, for fans of the series, you all know what that means. I guess I will go ahead and put my input on who are the top girls and who are the worst. I guess this list is going to be a combination of waifuness plus design and story and character and gameplay and I guess whatever that entails, but I'm pretty much just going to jump right into it. And I guess for first and starters, we have Asuka, who jumps up fittingly in the A tier. She doesn't stand out, there's nothing to hate or particularly like about her, and that's probably a good thing. She's pretty much the normal girl in a cast full of wacky characters, which usually is seen as bad, but when a series goes on this long, you start to appreciate them more. So next we have Ikaruga, whatever. Nobody can say her name. I can't even say her name. Ikaruga. There we go. She's probably fittingly an A tier too. Honestly, another likable character. The entire cast of the first game they're pretty solid. Next is Katsuragi. She has a sob background story, but she has a really nice design. She's not an unlikable character. I guess some people hate her harassment theme, so that could get kind of annoying. Maybe high B tier, just because that one aspect kind of overshadows her entire character. Next up is my favorite, Yagyuu. Bias wants me to just stick her in S, but like objectively looking at it, it's kind of hard. I mean, she may suffer from the same issue that Katsuragi does, where her one gimmick kind of overshadows her entire character, which in this case is her love for Hibari. I would definitely say it's probably less annoying than Katsuragi's issues, but I guess that puts her in a solid B. She's not unlikable. She's like the prodigy of her team. Good design. So right now, top of B. Next up is Hibari. Another solid character. A little bit shy, meek, but a really pleasing design. Definitely up here in A. Next up is Daidoji. I don't know. Her name's weird to say. Daidoji. It's kind of hard to rank her because if you're one of those weird people who asks if everything's a JoJo reference, then yeah, you're gonna like her. If not, you kind of get tired of hearing it. So honestly, I kind of believe she belongs at C. She's just a hulking character. Her design isn't particularly great since it's literally just gender swap JoJo characters. I mean, you might like that. I don't hate it, but C she is. I mean, it is what it is. Next we have Yomi, the series poster girl, or was the series poster girl until Toki, but currently pretty much the series poster girl. It's gonna be hard to rate her because she's obviously overall the most popular character in the series, but some people absolutely hate her for that, and you know, I don't hate her for it. I do think she has a pleasing look. She doesn't have anything hateable about her, so I guess I would put her at the top of A right now. Next up is Murakumo, whatever. Another girl with a pretty strong gimmick. In this case, the mask. Where I would rate her depends entirely on if she has her mask on or off. If it's on, I don't know. Other characters do like the super confident, deep voiced thing like better, but if it's off, she's a shy cute girl. It doesn't really overpower her character, so maybe behind Yagyuu, up in here in B. Next up is Yozakura, another character. Her gimmick, her trait, her personality of being like teen mom doesn't really overshadow her entire personality, so she's a pretty solid character. I didn't really like her at first, but I mean, she really grew on me. I guess the characters who don't rely on one singular gimmick end up being a lot better as the series goes on, and I think she's definitely one of those characters where that happens. So I'm going to put her up here in A. Next up is Shiki, a really fun character. Nothing really to hate about her. She's fun, she's trendy, she's a valley girl. She seems like you know, she's a lot better put together than she comes off. So I would just toss her also up here in A. Next we have Minori. Minori's an annoying character. She's cute, but she's fucking annoying, dude. Like, come on. She's not even a bad character. She's just straight up annoying though. So she's down here in C. So that pretty much brings me to Ayame, who is pretty much the only new wave girl to become like full-fledged in the series, appearing in multiple games. She has her own little panty gimmick just like Katsuragi, but she's a lot more fun than Katsuragi, I guess. She's the shopkeeper of the series, so she appears quite a bit. I would honestly place her in B tier. She's not fully fleshed out, but her gameplay is pretty fun, throwing her shield and everything. So, or no, does she have a shield? Yeah, she has a shield, but that's where she ends up. Next, we're skipping over all these new wave characters. I mean, we have Soji. She kind of appears. I guess she could possibly be ranked. She appears in Peach Beach Splash. Damn, that's hard to say. But I mean, other than that, I mean, she has a relatively. She appears a little bit more than the other characters. I can't recall what her entire gimmick is off the top of my head. But she's pretty much B tier, I guess. I don't know. And that also kind of accounts for like Basho or Bashao. Another cute girl. I believe she's the most popular new wave character actually. A lot of people like her design. She has a popular voice actress. She could be honestly at the top of B so far, but like most of the other new wave characters, she's not really fleshed out at all. So, or at least in the English translated games. So maybe in the middle of B is where she can reside. Now we have Miyabi. I do not like Miyabi at all. I honestly think she's probably one of the worst characters in the game. Like, a lot of people like the tomboy thing going on, but she doesn't even do it right. She just looks like a guy and it's annoying. So, sorry. Next up is Emu. Emu's a weird character. Her personality is just, it's not bad, it's just bland and uninteresting. But she has absolutely killer gameplay, especially in Estival Versus. So it's a case of this character is boring as hell, but also fun as hell to play as. I would just say C for now. I don't think I can accurately rate them on gameplay, since that's kind of more subjective than personality or gimmicks, but I'd say she's higher in C. Next up is Murasaki, Emu's sister. A lot of people like her, and I don't hate her, but I think her gameplay is just absolutely trash. The whole hair blaze thing, it's not fun, and her personality is also kind of annoying. Like, yeah, she's a NEET, and there's been media that does it well, but I mean, she just sits inside and eats pizza all day and complains about the sunlight. I mean, I know that's relatable to like anime fans, but I don't know. And even her outfit, I don't think it's a particularly good outfit. It's just like some giant funeral dress. So I mean, I guess she can go right next to her sister. Next up is Ryobi. Everybody loves Ryobi. She's one of the most popular characters from Shinobi Versus. She's a bit of a douche. She's a sadist. I mean, but it's hard to get that personality trait wrong. There's nothing unlikable about her really, other than her gameplay, honestly, which it's kind of clunky with the big giant missiles and gun. It doesn't really fit the hack and slash genre, but she's definitely a good fun character, and naturally her bigger form will just go up there right next to her. Next is Riona. She checks every box of what it takes to be a fun character. Some people might not like the submissive type, masochist type trait, but she, like, when it comes to design, gameplay, story, voice, character, she's pretty much the total package. So it's probably the first character to end up in A tier. Next up is Ren. Rin doesn't have much going on other than her rivalry with Daidoji. She's definitely a lot better gameplay wise. She attacks with really fast twin scissor blade thingies. Pretty much one of the fastest characters in the game. Really good look. But personality, gameplay, she's just a normal teacher. Not bad, but I don't think that's quite A tier, but definitely the top of B tier for now. Next up is Homura. So this is where people are gonna hate me. I don't at all think she's a bad character, but I think as the series went on, she definitely got me out. Like before, she was a fun rival, nice, strong, but then she just turned into like some money-making, like cheapskate crab walking jokester type character. That's not a bad thing, but it's, I don't know, they kind of really did a number on her character, but I would still put her over here in B. Next up is Yomi, one of the best designs for the blonde characters in the game, but her personality, it just sucks. Like even waifu wise, she would suck. She would be absolutely terrible as a waifu. You would not be able to do anything. Your every dinner would be bean sprouts, and you would not be able to buy literally nothing. You'd be wearing shopping bags, you'd eating bean sprouts for the rest of your life. So I mean, it might seem like a fun gimmick in moderation, but like overall, it's just absolutely terrible. Next up is Hikage. Just like Riona and Ryobi, everybody likes Hikage. I believe she won the English poll for popularity multiple times. I guess the no motion deadpan thing kinda gets like annoying overall, but she's one of the few characters in the game with like plot development to where she's actually achieving her goal of like being more emotional. So she's definitely an S rank character. Next up is Haruka. Now Haruka's a weird one. She has a really pleasing look, but everything else about her is terrible. Her personality's terrible. I'm pretty sure she fried her parents for like absolutely no reason. She's pretty much mean to everybody else. It's her gameplay sucks. So I honestly have to say D tier. Like I can't leave Miyabi down here by herself in D tier. And like the only thing Haruka has going for her is her design, but I don't think that's enough to carry her. Next up is Mirai. She's the smallest girl in the series. She's actually the only person who actually beat Yomi in a popularity poll up until the most recent one when Toki won. So that counts for something. She kind of ticks all boxes too, I guess, if you're in the small flat, you know, the blue archive girls, but it's she's not bad. I would say definitely A tier. If there's one thing I don't like her like secret art nimpos or whatever they're called, where they kind of just glide over and shoot machine guns from every direction. But I mean, other than that, she's definitely one of the better gun users in the game. Next up is Rinka, and I believe Rinka is probably one of the most underrated girls in the game. She has a really fun personality, a really pleasing look, a really good voice actress, and a really nice design. She's one of the few I would honestly say has the total package outside of like trying to consider everybody else's opinion. I don't want to say S, but she's just a really upbeat, peppy girl who just, it's enjoyable when she's on screen, and she's not on screen a lot, so I think that really lends to her being up here in S. Next up is Hanabi. I do not like Hanabi at all, honestly. She's like Yoimiya, but just somehow worse. She's just a dumbass. Like she's just a firework girl. You can like that. That's the whole point of like everybody having a gimmick, so there's gonna be fans, but she's down here in D. She doesn't really do anything of note. She's annoying. She cries a lot. Then we have Kufuru. She's another one whose personality will probably be a hit or miss for everybody. She's kind of mean towards everybody, but she has a really good look, and she has really, really good gameplay. I think it's the cast that annoys her most of all. So it's not like she's just a jerk for no reason. So I mean, I would say probably maybe right in front of Homura. Now we have Jasmine. I'm pretty neutral on Jasmine. I don't think she's good or bad. She has her place in the story. She popped up to train the next generation. I honestly could not tell you if she's a good or a bad character or where she would rank on like a waifu list. She's has a pretty good design, but I mean, she's strong as shit too. So it's I don't know. She's maybe near the middle of B. There's nothing I can say that makes her stand out over anybody else, but she's just kind of there. She's just a nice, strong character, but she doesn't really stand out, I don't think. Next up is Ryobi, another extremely fun character. Touch her halo and you'll find out real fast, but nothing negative. Like, she's good look, good gimmick. Actually a pretty good gimmick because she's dead, so it's actually a pretty unique gimmick. I would definitely say up here in S. And because of that, her evil ring touched halo form is also up here in S. And I guess a bit of trivia, her eyes change color based on her sisters, whether she's like good or evil, so that's something to note if you didn't notice that. And next we have Kagura, the strongest character in the series. There's like 4 different forms, but none of them are really fleshed out. Her gimmick is being the strongest in the series. That's pretty much her entire gimmick. It's other than that, she doesn't do any, like, she doesn't really even fight. She just has powers to destroy all the Yoma and everything. So I mean, she has a really nice sharp design now. So I would definitely put her, maybe I'd put her in front of Yomi, honestly. I'm not gonna rate these crazy versions, the small. None of them really do anything different. The small one's kind of like just a little kid, naturally annoying. They would go in D. The teen one doesn't do much at all. I forget what her final demon slayman unlock form is called, but I mean, at that point, she's only around for like 3 seconds until the enemy's dead. So there's no point in even trying to place them anywhere. And of course, after Kagura comes Naraku. She was another playing character in Deep Crimson, but I mean, she doesn't really do much in the series. She obviously protects Kagura, but she was DLC in Estival, I believe, and then in PBS she did a little bit, but I mean, she didn't really do anything, but she has like a really nice, like, kind of punk rocker design. So I mean, it's a really good design too. So simply based on that, I'd honestly place her near the top of A. You have Gecko or Gecko. This is a weird case of characters who are like more fleshed out in the anime than they are in the games. I can't remember if she's the older or younger sister. Her gimmick, I mean, it's not really a gimmick. She makes most of the outfits you see for the characters. She's pretty much just a nice girl who puts on a facade of being, like, I guess, nice in the face of whatever they believe their absolute justice is. But she has a pretty good design. I mean, based on that, I put her maybe towards the back of B. She doesn't stand out, honestly, that much. Now, Senko, on the other hand, stands out a lot more than her sister, being one of the few unarmed fighters in the game. A really sharp design, sharp eyes. Her fake personality thing it comes through more, since most of the characters in this game aren't jerks or mean, but she comes off as it. So she's kind of up here with Kagura as like having a really sharp design. And I bet if she was playable in the beat 'em up games, she would probably play like some fusion of some high speed Hibari or whatever, who knows. And pretty much based on that, like, the last one you have is Fubuki, who was more fleshed out in the anime. And also, I mean, it's hard to say if her design is nice or bad. She's extremely pale, but she has extremely dark eyes. Some people like that. I like it. Twin Tails, it's nice. So I mean, based on that, I could kind of put her in A because she actually does have some plot development in the anime. I'm not really going to go through what exactly happened or what's going on, but you can always read her wiki entry or whatever. But I mean, I put her in A tier, honestly, too. Other than that, you pretty much just have untransformed Idoji, which honestly is, I think, a better character than the transformed one. I know her whole thing is about being ultimate strong, but her pre-transformed like look is, it's kind of like an old school Sailor Moon character, honestly. I just put her up here with Ren. It's definitely better than the transform one. Maybe not as impressionable, but there she is.